Hey guys, today I want to talk about how to stay motivated during a fundraise. This is something that is very real for me because I lived through a number of fundraisers at Kindara that took a long time, especially in the beginning before I knew what I was doing. And it's very easy during a fundraise to get demotivated, demoralized. You're getting no's, you're getting people not interested in what you're building. You know, you're putting your dream out there on the table and not getting kind of reciprocation that you're wanting to get. And it can be really easy to fall into the trap of feeling like no one's gonna say yes, you're not gonna be able to get the raise done. You're not gonna get the money you need, you're not gonna be able to build the company you need, you're not gonna be able to make the difference you wanna make, and then it just spirals down into feeling like you suck. You know, I've been there. I've been in that place where nothing seems to be working, and I'm just in this dark pit of like, fuck, how am I gonna build this company if I can't raise money? How am I gonna raise money if no one is saying yes, if no one's seeing the genius of what I'm building or resonating with the story I'm telling? So what do you do? How do you stay motivated during a fundraise? Here's my advice, and I boiled this down into one phrase that you can repeat over and over to yourself when you're in the middle of a fundraise, and that is this phrase: the unit of progress is the unit of process. And what I mean by that is fundraising is a process. And as long as you're following the process, as long as you're moving ahead step by step, implementing the process, you're making progress. Sometimes it can feel like you're not, because you might get 5 no's or 10 no's or 15 no's in a row, and it might not feel like you're making progress. But remember, every meeting is a unit of process, and it's therefore a unit of progress. You are indeed making progress because you're learning what works, you're weeding out investors who weren't the right investors anyways, you're getting more aligned on what the actual story is that you want to be telling. So it's all progress. The unit of process is the unit of progress. You could also say the unit of progress is a unit of process. And this works. I know it works because I've done it. When I raised one of the bigger rounds at Kindara, which ended up being $3 million, I made a slide in Keynote and I put 60 boxes on the slide. And I said, after I've had 60 meetings, I will have closed the round. Actually, I think I put 100 boxes, and I said, after I do 100 meetings, this round will be closed. And then I just got about doing it. I got about lining up intros, setting up meetings, doing meetings, and every meeting I'd fill in the box, put the name and the fund or the investor, and I'd color the box as to whether they said yes, whether they said I'll think about it, whether they said no. And you know, by the time I had 30 boxes filled in, I had done 30 meetings, I think I had 1 yes. So it took like 30 meetings for me to get 1 yes. And as I was going through those first meetings, I just kept repeating to myself, the unit of progress is the unit of process. And every meeting I'm getting closer. By the time I get to 100 meetings, it's gonna be done. I'm gonna have closed the round. And you know, at meeting 28, it sucked because I had gotten 28 no's. But I just kept moving and kept reminding myself the unit of progress is the unit of process. And eventually I got the yes, and then I think it took 15 more meetings before I got a second yes, so I was in the 40s before I got a second yes. Then I got a third yes in the 50s, and by the time I got to the 60s, I got a few more yeses and the round closed, and I never actually got to 100. But I did have to do 60 meetings, and to get 60 high quality meetings took a lot of work. Like, it took a lot of emailing, a lot of networking, a lot of coffee meetings, a lot of phone calls, a lot of flying around the country. I was flying every week to New York, to San Francisco, to DC, to Chicago. I was just hustling. And I tried to just keep reminding myself that this is the process, I'm in the process. If I follow the process, if I worship the process, I'm gonna get the result. And I ended up getting the result. And I think this is something that applies in many areas of life. It's common sense if you think about it. If I'm gonna build a wall of bricks, If I'm gonna build a brick wall, the unit of progress is taking a brick and putting it on the wall and putting some mortar on it, and then taking the next brick, putting it on the wall. It's easy with a process like that to see that the unit of progress is the unit of process. Just keep putting bricks on the wall. But with fundraising, there can be a temptation because it's so open-ended and success is not guaranteed. It's easy to fall into the trap of, oh, this isn't gonna work, and getting demoralized and stopping the forward momentum. And I think that's a mistake. Just remember, if you're in a good process, and if you wanna know a good process, watch my other videos. Set up a tight, well-designed fundraising process, and then worship the process. Just worship it. Do it day in and day out, hustle, and you will get to where you need to get to, as long as you're learning along the way. As long as you're letting your results be your teacher, you will get to the end, you will get funded, you will get to that money that you need to build your dream in the bank, and then you can go ahead and start worshiping the next process, which I'll talk about in another video, which is what to do once you raise money. So that's what I got for today, is just to remember, worship the process. The unit of progress is the unit of process. Don't get demoralized when you're getting no's. Getting no's is on the path to getting yeses. And if you keep moving and keep learning from your mistakes, you're gonna get enough no's that you'll start getting yeses. And eventually you'll find the right investors that resonate with what you're building, that feel good to be joining your company on a long-term basis, and you'll close the round. So I hope that's helpful, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe. I do a video every week on startup stuff and fundraising stuff, helping CEOs of mission-driven companies build their dream companies, raise money, and succeed. So if you like the stuff I'm putting out, please subscribe and tap the bell. And if you want me to cover something in another video, please leave that in the comments, and I'll put that on the list of things to cover. And I also have a bunch of free fundraising resources on my website at www.letsmakeitreal.today. So check it out. Lots of resources there for mission-driven founders who want to build companies that change the world. So that's it for today, and we'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for watching.